They had no idea.
They had no idea until they saw the movie or until
Correct.
In this movie, we get to like peel back a few more layers on Valentina and who she is, her history, her ambition.
Yes.
So here's a leader who's strong, but flawed, ruthless, but who I think believes in giving people second chances. What was it like to play her in all this complication?
Well, it was delicious to play her with all this complication. I'm not sure she really believes in giving people second chances, to tell you the truth, but she is definitely complicated. And in this film, we get to see a little window into her backstory. And I think that's really instructive, and it's certainly instructive to me as an actor playing her.
Yeah.
She has an insatiable desire for power and control, and she's usually about 3 steps ahead of everyone around her, except for when she's not, and then you get to see her pivot in real time.
I like how particular she is when we first meet her in this movie.
Yeah.
She's very particular about her name.
Yes.
And she corrects the pronunciation of her last name.
That's right.
And it occurred to me that maybe in your real life,
Yes.
there may be some mispronunciation of Julia Louis-Dreyfus. So are you like Val in that sense? Do you correct?
I absolutely do, because you want people to say your name correctly, don't you? Yeah. And they often sort of butcher my last name, which is understandable because it's a lot of letters and it's hyphenated and it's kind of crazy.
It's so much fun for me in this movie to see that it's anchored by women. You know, our
Yes.
heroes are women, our villain is a woman.
Yeah.
And so we have Valentina's insatiable thirst for power versus Yelena, played by Florence Pugh, her search for purpose. So what was it like for you to, you know, act in that dynamic with Florence?
Well, Florence is an amazing actor, okay? So to be in a scene with her was a total blessing and an opportunity, because she's such a, she's just such a breath of fresh air. I know both she and I, it's very important to us to play characters female characters who are not defined by their relationships with male characters.
That's right.
And that is the case in this film. Actually, I'm going to say for all the women in the film.
Including Mel,
That's
played
right.
by Geraldine Viswanathan,
Yes.
who is Valentina's assistant. I
Yes.
love this dynamic. And it occurred to me, you know, you have your podcast, Wiser Than Me.
Yeah.
Was there any wisdom that you gained from Florence and Geraldine in working together?
Oh, isn't that interesting? Well, I'm always learning from other actors, without question. Both of these women are confident women. And I think they're confident in a way that I wish I could have been when I was their age.
Yeah.
I admire that, and I sort of take note of it moving forward.
Like I said, I really enjoyed watching the relationship between Val and Mel. That is a lot of where the comedy is.
Yeah.
And it occurred to me that we've also seen you in assistant boss settings before. So who's more loyal, Mel to Val or Gary to Selena?
Gary is much more loyal to Selena than Mel is to Val.
Could Gary have worked for Valentina?
No, he would have been immediately disappeared.
I love that, in the snap.
Yeah.
You know, I think for a lot of people, we associate you with iconic roles. Valentina is once again another iconic role. There was an interview, though, that David Mandel and Tony Hale gave to Vanity Fair, I think it was in 2019, where they sort of said, she's so amazing, we could see her in as a Marvel villain. Did they manifest this for you?
Did they?
Did they?
I don't know. I don't know. I love that they said that. I didn't know.
Yeah, they were like either a Cruella Disney villain or a Marvel villain, and now look at you.
Bam! They did it for me. I've got to write them a thank you note.
I need to talk about Valentina's aesthetic. A lot of these heroes are running around in their super suits.
Yes.
It's not, but it's Valentina who's bringing the fashion.
Yes.
You know, she looked different in the previous movies with an updo, but now we've got a signature hair look here.
Yes.
How do you sort of identify or find your character within this aesthetic?
Well, I wanted to definitely change the hair for this film.
Yeah.
I wanted it to have a more grounded, serious feeling to it.
Yeah.
And I think the hair does. And actually, it's a nod to Valentina Allegra de Fontaine in the comics, who has a white streak. But the way she has it, in the way it's drawn in the comics, looks a little maybe too much like Cruella.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to sort of do a nod to it, but distinguish it from, if that makes sense. And then in terms of the clothing, I thought it was really important that she's in angular clothes, except for when she's not.
Yeah, okay.
And when she's not, it's very intentional.
Like, we now can identify with Valentina in terms of this signature look in the same way that, like, Nick Fury has an eye patch.
Yes.
People have said, who are up top at Marvel, that Valentina is kind of like Nick Fury for the Bolts.
Yes, she is.
Are you prepared to be in 13 or 12 or a dozen or more appearances in the MCU the way Nick Fury has?
Yes, I am.
Because, like, you don't show up in that Doomsday teaser.
Right. Yep.
And I know you can't say much, but
I really can't say much, but let's just say I am prepared and delighted, and that's really all I can say.
with the not being able to say much thing, we know that Marvel people are expected to keep their secrets.
Yes.
I get that.
Yes.
And yet you have said that one of the reasons why you want to do this is to impress your adult sons.
Yes.
Can you keep these secrets from them? Like, are they not, Mom, what are you doing in this movie? What happens in this movie?
I have to tell you something, I'm a very good secret keeper.
Okay.
And they had no idea. They had no idea.
They had no idea until
no
they
idea.
saw the movie or until they made the announcement?
Correct. They came to
What?
the movie and they saw it for the first time.
That's amazing. Congratulations on
Thank
being
you.
able to
I feel
keep
very
secrets.
pleased about that.
You know, the MCU has such a huge effect on multiple generations of fans. You know, we are seeing people who grew up in the comics many years ago to now.
To now, yeah.
And I feel the same way about Seinfeld and about like Veep. So what does it mean to you to once again step into another role that will affect generations? And how did your Seinfeld, for example, experience prepare you for this Thunderbolts thing, this MCU thing?
I'll tell you how it prepared me, honestly, at the risk of sounding kind of corny. I had a lot of fun making Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun making Veep. Fun is the determiner for me, and it certainly applies to Marvel. And my experience working on all of these projects, and particularly in this film, it was just like unbelievably fun and joyful. And so, therefore, I'm blessed. And, you know, it just makes sense that it keeps going.
This ragtag group of heroes, anti-heroes, it seems like that's been the way it is in real life during this press tour and how much fun you all are having.
It is
What's
true.
the group chat like? Is it just more active now? Is it always active? How often do you keep in touch? And, you know, what do you, what is that bond there?
Well, I mean, for example, I mean, we're constantly keeping in touch. I'm always texting with Geraldine and Florence, and they left a question for me. The Thunderbolts team, the actual team, was on Good Morning America in the States. So they had a question for me, and I was on Good Morning America the next day, which I answered, and then I forwarded it to Florence. She got a huge kick out of it. They wanted to know if I liked them.
And
I said, no, not really.
yeah, I believe you. And for you, you know, as you've promoted this movie with all the excitement, what have you learned about the MCU fan, these hardcore people?
I'm telling you, it is a universe unto itself.
Yes.
People came to you know, we had a premiere in London, we had a premiere in Los Angeles. People came dressed as my character. I mean, and so I feel a huge amount of responsibility to deliver for these
It's going to be Halloween as you. Like, just get ready.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. You're so good in this movie. It's so fun.
Thanks.
And I also have to say, on a personal level, because my name is Elaine and I never knew any pop culture Elaines, you made my name cool.
Yay.